Back at Dover, Delaware, we are just getting reports of a violent crash that has taken place in the funny car eliminations at the Fall Nationals in Ennis, Texas. A 14-time NHR champion John Force is alert and conscious after breaking both legs and an arm in a crash with Kenny Bernstein. Now, these cars collided after they crossed the finish line. These two, again, in a funny car incident out in Ennis, Texas. They crossed the finish line, had contact, and John Force has been taken to the medical center in Dallas for further treatment. Coverage of that final in Dallas can be seen on ESPN2 tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Here at Dover, Delaware, we are under caution for the 6th time, coming out on lap 203. Contact between the 45 car and the 11 car. Denny Hamlin. And here again is Denny Hamlin's car losing part of a piece of a brake rotor.
And this was a big setback for Denny Hamlin. He got in the back of Kyle Petty exiting turn 4, and I gotta believe that Kyle might have got just a little bit loose because Denny wouldn't go up there and take himself out. But after he hit Kyle, he shot up the racetrack, got in the wall. It's broke the brake rotor now in the car, which this is something that's got to be taken back to the garage like they're doing now. So a big upset in our points now. We've got problems with everybody.
He was running in 6th position. Now he's in the garage area, and our Dave Burns is there.
And the most dramatic part about that, guys, was Denny Hamlin brought this car limping down pit road and into the garage area without brakes. The team was instructed Denny will have the car in first gear. He'll be at pit road speed. He'll drag the clutch to try to slow it down, but you've got to catch the car, and that's what the crew did when he came to his garage stall. The guys got in front of it and around it and slowed it down to a stop. Now they'll try to work on that brake system as well as inspect the rest of the damage, including the front splitter. Mike?
And speaking of splitters, that may be a concern for the 07 of Clint Boyer. Aside from the right front fender, it appears that one of the brackets that supports the splitter has been snapped off on the right side, and they're having real difficulty trying to reconnect that. They put a lot of bear bond on the right side, trying to get the aerodynamics right on that race car, but the splitter may be even a bigger concern. Boyer again down pit road for what appears to be about the 3rd time under this caution.
And Mike, I reported earlier on that alternator going out on the 17, Matt Kenseth, he's leading right now. Robbie Reiser, the crew chief right now. Robbie, how concerned are you guys right now? I know he's turned off those brake fans right now. How much is that helping, and are you concerned still?
You're probably more concerned about it than I am. We got 2 batteries.
Yes, that answers it.
We got 2 batteries in the car. We're fine to run all day, so this isn't really a big deal. We've been through this before.
He talked about he wanted a quick pit stop. How important was that? You guys were out of here in just over 12 seconds.
We got some new guys there, and Russ Strupp, who's been our jackman for a long time, has had to retire because of some back injury, and we've had to put Cameron Cobb in place, and he's done a great job for us getting us back up to speed and holding our own at pit road here.
All right, guys, Matt Kenseth holding his own, leading the race. Doc?
Jamie, let's update the issues that they're dealing with here in the 17 crew as we head down to our ESPN Dish Tech Center and Tim Brewer.
Right here. The splitter's basically bulletproof. We showed some 357 bullet holes in it last week. It's pretty much indestructible. But up in here, there's a bar that runs behind here. You got a 1/4-inch heim joint that's stainless steel. It runs down here and affixes to this area right here. Should be pretty much simple to reconstruct. But this thing right here, it's pretty stout. But I talked with Billy Barkheimer last week in Loudon. The car can run without a splitter. It's just not going to have a lot of downforce on the front of it. Jerry?
Thanks, Tim. There's the damage on the splitter on the front of the 07 car. That'll come all the way from 42nd to be running in the top 5. He was actually running 7th when that contact happened a moment ago. For more information on splitters, log on to ESPN.com. Search word Tech Center.
NASCAR will allow you to run without that splitter if you happen to knock it off. They won't let you, however, run without the rear wing that's on the back. So a couple of aerodynamic devices that NASCAR does require the wing to be on the car, but if they knock that splitter off, it's good to go.
Well, that splitter's awful strong. I think that splitter's going to stay on that car even if that bracket is off of there. We saw how hard those things, how tough they are at Watkins Glen when Ryan Newman went flying through there and the splitter held up.
Our leader, Matt Kenseth, also atop the point standings in the chase as he will lead him down with Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle right behind. Kenseth has led twice for 127 laps. We have 189 to go here at the Monster Mile. Kenseth pulls out. 5 to 6 car lengths. Kyle Busch on the move, back in the pack. Ryan Newman as well.
Now, Kurt Busch has just had a solid car throughout the day. He's had a little bit of problem over there in New Hampshire last weekend with the carburetor linkage, but today that car has been pretty flawless. His lap times have been almost comparable to Matt Kenseth, and he's having the day he needs to have. He can't use any more mulligans, can't have any problem like that. And the car, Pat Tryson-led number 2 car, is on its game today, guys.
These two guys are really on their game, but Tony Stewart, he's a lap down. He's actually probably the one that can maybe get his lap back of these guys that are down a lap. You've got Johnson and Harvick that are both 2 laps down, so they'll have to fight their way to at least get one back.
We might mention that Jeff Burton fans, Jeff Burton he got the free pass on that last caution flag to get back on the last lap. Whoa, and some an argument, frustration in the garage. Kyle Petty over there with Denny Hamlin, and the crews are separating them down there. You saw there was a lot of frustration when they had contact, and the NASCAR officials jumped in between them. Dave.
And Doc, Kyle Petty did come over to the window of the 11 car. Denny was still in the cockpit, and after Kyle had some heated words with Denny, as if to say, well, if you want to go, Denny went ahead and hopped out of the race car. The teams, as you say, separated them, and now they walk away. But obvious frustrations down here in the garage area.
Here's what happened a moment ago. This is the onboard camera. Here's Kyle Petty coming over to talk to Denny Hamlin about what happened on the racetrack. He wants to talk to him so Denny can hear it. Well,
I'll tell you what, Kyle's very, very mad. He feels like he got roughed up by Denny out there. Kyle's had a tough year this year, making a point, but you never reach in there and slam some guy's helmet. Denny's going for the championship. He's very frustrated right now.
And NASCAR official is trying to keep Kyle away and try to calm down and intervene there. And finally, Denny says, okay, I'm coming out.
I think he's just had enough of it now. He's just going to come out and try to take care of business.
He's out of the car now while the repairs continue to his 11 car. By the way, Denny Hamlin had led twice for 61 laps. He had one of the best cars here early on in the afternoon, and now he's frustrated as well in the garage area as the repairs continue.
You can understand the frustration from Kyle Petty, though. He felt like he got dumped.
Yeah, but one thing you need to think about Denny Hamlin, too, guys. He's sick. He feels horrible in the car. He's been taking all the IVs, been trying to get his best shape he can, so he's probably physically not the best he could be.
And he certainly had the most to lose in that situation by being one of the chase contenders.
Hamlin now being shown last. He is 12th in the chase points here. He came in 9th after the first race at New Hampshire on the basis of that 15th place finish. 218 laps in. The Monster Mile will chew you up. It will fire you up. It will produce incredible frustrations inside and outside of the car. Matt Kenseth still showing the way. Back in a moment.
ESPN's coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Series on ABC. Brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution. Allstate, the official insurance sponsor of NASCAR. Office Depot, the official office products partner of NASCAR. And TGI Fridays Restaurants, where the 3-course menu is back. Give me more Fridays.
You see that monster, and now we know why. The pressure building, frustration fueled here at Dover International Speedway. Lots of pressure from that chase, and Denny Hamlin, one of the drivers in the chase, got in the back of Kyle Petty, and Petty went to Hamlin's garage to have his say. Petty, of course, he's not just running for pride. He's looking for a position in owner's points, but Denny Hamlin, not the only driver who's having issues today. The chase drivers, the Monster Mile having its way.
Absolutely. This racetrack is just relentless, and it never lets up, and every driver that's in this chase has that in mind. Little bitty things have happened all day long, and they will continue to happen till the end of this race. You have to persevere in order to finish the Monster Mile.
It's the little things, and every point counts from here on in, Doc.
Wow, tempers flaring, tensions high can happen. It can all happen here at the Monster Mile, and a lot of frustration. Matt Kenseth, and here's the 26th car of Jamie McMurray having his troubles, and he's down. Oh, just gets by with, apparently has the damage and maybe a right rear tire.
Tires right now. Can I make it without going a lap down? I don't think so. I don't think so. We can get 2 maybe.
It's a bad decision not coming down right there, I'm afraid, for Jamie McMurray.
Well, he might be able to hold on right there, Andy. I mean, the caution's out right now. They're getting ready to pick up the leaders. and Jamie's in front of him, so he might be able to stay in the lead lap.
Show you again what happened to Jamie McMurray to bring out caution number 7. Oh, contact with Montoya.
Montoya gets in his right front, then gets in his right rear, blows both right side tires out, and they're sliding down and they're blowing as this is happening. And you talk about a melee, barely misses hitting Montoya, coming back up on a racetrack. But Jamie does a great job holding on to that thing. That thing was definitely out of control.
If he can get it back in here without tearing up the body with these flat tires, he'll maybe stay on the lead lap. This car here is a little tougher, though. The old car, or the car that we run next week at Kansas, those are so fragile. With a flat tire, it'll just destroy the body. These seem to be a little tougher.
And there's a classic case of getting loose.
19 trying to come outside, all clear. Come on, all clear,
He came off the turn 2 and just got real loose and spun the car. Got up into Montoya.
We've been watching these guys race real hard. Michael Waltrip was in part of this mix earlier. These guys were racing real hard for those spots.
Montoya, the highest running rookie right now, in 15th position. They will come on the pit road once again now, slowing down to 35 miles an hour, headed down toward Mike Massaro.
And Mark Martin hits his marks. He's looking to be a little bit more free. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to the right rear tire, 4-tire change in fuel for the U.S. Army Chevrolet, which, by the way, this is actually the first piece of DEI equipment Mark Martin's driven all year. Alan?
Middle frame, Kyle Busch. Right side tires only. Already gone.
Pit stops, and there comes the 16 car, Greg Biffle, off behind Kyle Busch. Again, it's typical of the Monster Mile, full contact stock car racing on the high-banked 1-mile concrete oval here in Dover, Delaware. 170 laps remain. We have had 6 lead changes among 5 different leaders. Matt Kenseth has done a phenomenal job. Front tire carrier J.D. Holcomb out of Whitesburg, Kentucky, getting it done for Kyle Busch and the Hendrick team on this latest pit stop. Back with a green flag in just a moment.